Another live session with your boy Phrankleen. All right. If you can hear me, you can see me, hit the like button. Hit the like button. All right. If you can hear me, right. Let's have a conversation. Let's discuss about what's going on. If you can see me, hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you're watching this as a playback, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and the bell button. And once you smash on that bell button, select the all option. That basically lets you know when I'm online. All right. So brings you up to speed. Hi, House of Coffee. What's up, people? Hit the like button, man. So, anyways, don't forget to share the live stream so other people can benefit from it, from the platform. They can watch it and stuff like that. Anyways, so yeah, first of all, let's talk about the shambolic. I've got before I carry on, I've got a link here that I'm going to share in a moment so that people can join the conversation. This one is, is beyond me. It's not just about, it's not my regular show where I can talk about, what's this person saying? What you once said we should stop talking evil on Nigeria as our country, but with killings now, how can we? Sam Ige, thank you for your comment, my brother. This ongoing problem in Nigeria, this is not something that can be swept. I'm not a hypocrite. Even though I'm always about we need to show the positive side of our country, this one is an extenuating circumstance that connects every one of us, regardless of your race, regardless of your tribe, your gender. So if you're Nigerian, this connects everyone. So this is not the time to, if we gloss over this, it will be inhumane, it will be selfish, it would be disrespectful of particularly our brothers and sisters that have lost their precious life in the course of this ongoing palaver. All right. So, but I do get your point. If you're joining, hit the like button. AJ, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. So, first of all, let's talk about the disgraceful presidential speech. I'm sure everyone has seen it from yesterday. 12 minutes. I had to keep looking like, what? Is that all? First of all, the fact that they presented that speech, that botched speech to us as live, which is even a 5-year-old could tell that it was pre-recorded. That in itself, which I call fraudulent misrepresentation. It's absolutely disgraceful. It's below the belt. To call that a live a live speech, which was in fact edited with several embarrassing jump cuts. Anyway, I listened for 12 odd minutes, and just like many other people, I couldn't pinpoint anything substantive. The only thing I personally picked from that speech, which I'm sure you'd agree with me, was the fact that there was an element of threat that was nicely packaged into that speech, which basically it would appear that the president is actually saying that should people carry on protesting, there will be, heavy-handedness in terms of response or retaliation, which to me is an infringement of, further infringement of the collective human rights of Nigerian citizens. Utterly embarrassing. Utterly embarrassing. He did not once was Lekki even mentioned. No mention of Lekki, no mention of Lekki Toll Gate, no direct mention of um, the obliteration of innocent, harmless protesters that were ring fenced by the Nigerian military and obliterated their existence, cut short families of those people, inflicted with eternal pain. It's, to me, all of those to me reek of nothing but the attributes of a dictator. That's just the way I see it. It's just dictatorship. All right. And there was not a single mention of that. And then to make it even worse, the army general had the audacity to come on live TV and say, "Oh, so the videos that are being circulated on social media are were in fact photoshopped." Forgive me. I personally, the internet was awash with, people who were angry, anger, and all sorts of comment. I understand that. But honestly, I personally didn't expect any, I didn't expect them. I would be shocked if they had come to put their hands up and accept, own up to their catastrophic failings. But of course, they denied. And this man was even further trying to insult our collective intelligence by saying, "Oh, I can even show you some clips to prove that those, wow, the dead bodies, the bloodbath." Even CNN had their journalists, one or two journalists on ground. They, they also aligned with the submissions of numerous Nigerians about the bloodbath at Lekki Toll Gate. And to have the sitting men in power blatantly deny. So the long and short of that is there was clearly a blatant disregard for the fundamental human rights of the average Nigerian. Now, like that wasn't bad enough. Then we found out that the pandemic palliatives that Nigerians should have benefited from way back in April, several months ago. One in Lagos, a major warehouse with boxes of Indomie and bags of gari, and that people should have benefited, that would have helped households at least temporarily alleviate, poverty, hunger particularly, were stashed away by greedy public servants, governmental officials. Um, and then today, they were further exposed on social media somewhere in Osun State. They even found another bigger warehouse packed to the brim, huge warehouse with boxes of Indomie noodles and several pasta foods that people should have benefited from. Now, of course, it's staggering when you look at that. You say, "Oh, the government." Okay, but now let's take the government. Once I'm done talking, by the way, I'm going to provide a link so people can join the conversation. Right? I just want to get a few things off my chest. Now, let's put the government. Let's put them on the shelf just for a moment. Okay, the Lagos State governor as well, Sanwo-Olu, utterly disgraceful, running from pillar to post. We know that he's a puppet. They're just lying and trying to cover up and showing like they empathize with people. It's all acting and lies and populating his social media profiles with pictures of visiting hospital, when in fact as a sitting governor, he must have been part of the process, part of the orchestration of what led to the demise of innocent people. Again, let's put all of that on the shelf. This is what I'm trying to say. So the reason I've, sort of come up with this is, are Nigerian leaders a reflection of their citizens? Okay. Um, let's leave those people on the shelf. So somebody spoke to me in confidence. Okay. They're going to remain anonymous. Pay attention. And the person said, Phrankleen, somebody from Nigeria spoke to me earlier today. And the person said, Phrankleen, thank God for these palaver. that's now had like a ripple effect and exposing like the COVID palliatives and all that stuff. He said, this is a common everyday practice. And he said, look, let's not just bombard, the government with, oh, the government did this, the government did that. The government said, yeah. We know they're corrupt. He said, let's talk about the average Nigerian that's on the ground level. So his argument was most, most being the objective word. So most Nigerians are as corrupt as their leaders who are at the top of affairs. So man gave me an example. He said, look, these are spilled out about the palliatives, the foods that were stashed away, hidden from the citizens that should have benefited from them, right? There's ongoing speculations that they were hidden and they were going to rebrand them and probably use them as giveaway during the forthcoming election, or some might have get to sell some of them and line their pockets with the proceeds. There is, it's multifaceted in terms of the possibilities around what they could do with the stolen goods, right? But this gentleman told me over the phone, and he said, look, let me tell you, man, there are countless members of the public. He said, Phrankleen, ask your people watching your live stream. He said, how many average Nigerian can be honest if they find themselves in that position whereby, he said to me, for example, the man said, it's a common knowledge. Those that know, they know. For example, they steal those palliatives. There are people that will buy those things, rebox them, go and sell those boxes and line their pockets. He said there are people that will buy them, they'll take some of them for themselves and their families. They will go and sell them and they share the money. He said these things happen all the time. He said part of the money dedicated for the so-called palliatives, they're usually multi millions. He said a lot of people have enriched themselves. So let's not be fixated on those people at the top of affairs. You and I already knows that a lot of the people at the top of affairs are waste of space. We know that. That's a common knowledge. Let's talk about people like you and I on a ground level. They call you, there are mega warehouses hidden somewhere, right? You can get boxes of Indomie noodles for half of the price or for a fraction of the price. If you can buy 100,000 boxes, you can buy X number of this. How many people will latch onto integrity and say no? I argued with the gentleman and I said, oh, the palliatives, I personally suspect that they conceal them, deprive the general public so that they can use it, right? Because that's why it's crucial for them to keep people impoverished, broke, hungry, so that during the forthcoming election, they can hold on. That's the link if you want to join the conversation. That's the StreamYard link. They can use it to how do I say, bribe the people in exchange for their votes. But now watch this. So this gentleman said his wife works in the ports, one of the popular ports in Nigeria, and she's worked there for donkey years. This is what he told me. He said, bro, let me give you an insight into some of the things that happen every day. It's very convenient to say government. He said the citizens, most of the citizens are as corrupt as the so-called elites at the top that we are up against, right? He was telling me this. He said his wife has a friend who lives in America, who for many years have been shipping containers of goods, bikes, cars, it could be children, bikes, food, all sorts of things to Nigeria, for sale, as you do. So many people ship things to Nigeria. And he was telling me that amongst the customs, low-level customs officer, I guess there are people that are sat there right? That they will open people's containers and they will take a fraction of your goods. And he said there are regular people in Lagos, across Nigeria, that have enriched themselves, that are multi-millionaire, basically by buying stolen goods. Stolen, they know. They break into your container. Let's say you have 150 bikes, right? They steal maybe 10. They sell it at half price to someone else. That person takes it, they put it in their shop, they sell it on, they line their own pockets. There are people that are involved in the manufacturing on the local level in Nigeria of fake medications, fake alcoholic drinks, fake products. I can go on and on. There are people in the government departments who are involved in the frauds. There are also the average Joe blogs who are unbelievably dishonest. What this man told me is about the palliatives. There's been some that have been going on the ground where people have already made multi-millions, whilst you and I know that the pandemic, so many people across the globe lost their jobs. Even here in the UK, in the US, a lot of people have been absolutely, affected by this pandemic, right? Now, what I'm saying is there are people on ground in the same Nigeria that would join you to point fingers at the government. We know those ones. They are the PhD holders when it comes to the level of corruption. No doubt about it. They have the Oscar for it. They are the top level ones. We know them. But on the ground level, I think it's a lot worse. The average, I'm not saying all Nigerians, I'm not lumping everybody. Most Nigerians are unbelievably corrupt amongst ourselves. In fact, let me tell you, for those that have been watching me for a minute, for those of you that have been watching me for a minute, I remember a while back, probably a year ago, when I made a video when America started banning Nigeria, giving us visa ban, Canada taking actions against us because of the asylum abuse and the violation of their immigration process and stuff. What did I say? I said it that the average Nigerian, when you tell them that, yo, don't abuse this thing, stop doing it, they will, first of all, they will tell you that that's their definition is that's being smart. They will ask somebody like me to keep quiet. They basically would see you as a hindrance. But what tends to happen is those things go round in full circle to harm us. I can assure you, with the ongoing palaver now, there will be heightened rejections in terms of visa applications and monetary losses. Believe me, wait for it. Britain, USA, particularly, and the rest of the EU. When legitimate people that want to, hardworking Nigerians that want to travel abroad, the ripple effect of all this ongoing palaver, right? And I'm not saying we shouldn't fight. What I'm saying is they weaponize it against the innocent, hardworking people. They will steal their application fees. They will deny them for frivolous reasons. Let me bring people on before I carry on talking. House of Coffee.
Hi,
What's up?
Phrankleen.
Hiya.
Hi, how are you? Hi. So it's like this, your anonymous individual took my thought, actually, because I wanted to say, I was discussing with my friend yesterday, and I was saying to her that, do you know what? We are going on and on about hand SARS, hand police brutality, hand bad government, but we do have a little bit of SARS in every family members in Nigeria. Don't you think that? It is a bit of SARS attitude for you to be abroad. You send money to your family. Oh, please
Oh
buy me
my
this.
God.
Okay, please build me this house. And what do? They squander your money.
Yeah.
Okay, one that doesn't squander your money will build the house to their own taste and go and do juju for you not to come back again. I know people
And you
are
know
going to
what?
come from me,
Wait,
but it is the
wait for it.
truth.
Wait for a second. Wait for a second. Yeah, sorry to cut you. The same families will use the same police officers that we are campaigning against. They will
Yeah,
use them against you.
yeah, to
And in
haunt
most
you.
cases,
Oh yes,
they will
oh
use
yes,
them to even
oh
kill you
yes.
off.
Oh yes, all these leaders that we are going on and on about Who raised them? Is it not us that raised them? They come from a family. They didn't fall from heaven. It doesn't work that way. Somebody raised them. A mother and a father raised these people that are in government today, because our culture allows it. It's okay for you to be wicked. It's okay for you to bring money home. Everybody wants to see you make it from abroad. They don't care where you get money from. If I show up today in Nigeria and I bring the latest cars in, nobody's going to ask me, how did you get that car? All they want to see is cars. They want to see money. They don't know whether I went to borrow it from anywhere. It's the element of SARS for you to tell your sister or your brother abroad to say, oh, there is a bit of vacancy here at my place of work. Can you please come in and then, for some interview? And then you help them to doctor the CV. You even tell them this is how the interview is going to go. They end up getting that job. What do they do when they get there? They will align with your counterparts, your Oyinbo counterparts, okay, against you. What is that attitude? Is it not SARS? Is it not bad governing? It is an element of SARS in you. It is wickedness, because all we are talking about is wickedness. We are just aligning it in another words. It is only blatant wickedness. That's all it is. So we have a bit of SARS in everybody from Africa. So let's wake up and move on, honestly, because I am depressed. I am depressed. People who are going on and on about the speech yesterday. What do you expect him to say? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Believe me, in 2023, we will see people from this same Nigeria that is going to vote this stupid man in. They will collect a bag of rice, okay? A keg of sunflower oil, they will collect it. A bag of sugar, they will collect it and vote these people, same people in.
Can I say something? Yeah. And I'm sure you can relate to this, right? Have you noticed how very sluggish most Nigerian celebs? There are certain persons that they're very energetic being at the forefront. There are some, but I don't want to name anybody. Right? I don't want to name anybody. But there have been a few who have been very diligent, especially the women who have been vocal, and there are certain few of them who have been on the front line and shouting and doing everything they can. But the reason most of the so-called celebrities have been absolutely sluggish, and then because people were really hounding them that, oh, you're not going to use your voice, then they were forced to come out. The reason is they eat at the same table.
They've collected Bible.
That they collect millions from.
Let me say my third point.
Let me say something to you today. I've never said this before on my channel, right? The only person that knows this, that I've mentioned this to, is my wife, right? Not too long ago, I got an anonymous email from someone that said they would like to build me an exclusive radio station in Nigeria. I should name my price. That they are ready to fund me. I should name my price. They understand I live in the UK, blah, blah, blah. It will be put down in contractual agreement, or they want to build a radio station for me so that I can be talking about the affairs, I can. Now, this was a statement that gave them away, right? First of all, the person that wrote the email was anonymous. That's a red flag. And then, second of all, they said, so I can basically align with the government. As soon as I read align with the government, I'm not gonna name figures because some people might think I'm making this up. I looked at that email, I looked at my laptop, and I just kept looking. Let me tell you this, right? I'm not trying to project myself as a perfect human being. 9 out of 10 times, your average person would jump on that offer. I'm telling you, man.
Of course. What do you think? Who wants to struggle? Who wants to keep struggling? Honestly, who wants to keep struggling? An average Nigerian, when they get there today, if we all have an opportunity to get to that seat today, do we think we are going to do anything better? We are not going to do anything better. Okay, they are saying that, some hoodlums have hijacked the protest. Who are these hoodlums? Are they not citizens of the same country? Somebody paid them. Okay,
Yeah.
we are fighting for better governance, and somebody is paying another part of that same citizen of the same country, okay, to go and disrupt that protest. Who are they? I think the citizens of Nigeria, they were born there, they were raised there, and they are collecting money. And so in 2023 as well, some are going to still collect that money. They are going to collect bag of rice and that
Of
bag
course.
of indomie that all of you are going crazy for. They are going to collect it, and they are going to vote the same old cargoes into governance if we don't stand up. Let us rise up. Thank you, Phrankleen.
Thank you, Hazel Coffee. Thank you. I appreciate you. Man.
Hello. All right. Hi.
How you doing, man? We lost Toby Loba there. African Unite Force.
Hi, Phrankleen.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm so excited for this topic, because it is actually a very good one. Because as Nigerians, it is high time that we hold ourselves accountable and be
Absolutely.
responsible. Because this is what we lack. This is what we don't have as Nigerians. Because we as Nigerians, because if we start talking about these things, many of us will come off as, oh, why do you have to say such a thing? Because we are arrogant as a people, and that is what our environment promotes. I was in my growing up as a Nigerian. I was very arrogant as a person. I'm stating the fact now because this is what our environment promotes. Now look at our leaders, not leaders now. Look at the puppet rulers, because that's what they are. These people were brought up by Nigerians. They did not come from Britain. They were not brought up from America and all of this. They were brought up by Nigerians, by the Nigerian culture. Nigerian culture, promoted all of this attitude. The puppet rulers that we have today, is as a result of Nigerian parents. We trained them to be like this, and a mango fruit does not fall from its tree. We are product of that environment, and majority of Nigerians are like those puppet rulers. We are like that, and I am one of those. You understand? So the earlier we start telling ourselves this truth as Nigerians, because in the comment section, I have seen people, they're saying, oh, what is the way forward? What is the solution? This is the solution, addressing our problem and our shortcomings. This is the solution, because I do believe that history does not repeat itself. It is ignorant people who repeat history. And we are ignorant people in this generation about to make the same mistake, or if we are not making it already, the same mistake our ancestors made. And that is why I'm saying we need to Nigerians do not know their history. The only history they know about is the history of 1960, when Nigeria gained independence. But that is not all that is about history. What about prior, before the colonial masters they came? What was Nigeria doing before we became what we are today? Nigerians are the proudest. Nigerians are the most educated in the world. Nigerians are the doctors and all of this. Nigerians are the most brainwashed and indoctrinated in the world. That is why they are subjected to this, Eurocentric rules and regulation. We are not educated. We are brainwashed and indoctrinated. And look at the product we are producing. Do you understand? We left, our ancient system that, let's look at the Berlin Conference now. 18 European nations, the Southern for the scramble of Africa. And then without the consent of any continental Africans. And now they brought up this system, and first of all, they did a coup, and they dethroned all our traditional rulers. We had a system that was working for us, and then they trained these puppet rulers. You understand? And they trained them with the mindset. They changed our education. They changed our tradition. Today we are doing white wedding. White wedding is on African. It's not our culture. You understand? Our educational system. Look into that educational system. It's nice to be the one to teach you. They're indoctrinating you to become loyal slaves, and that is who we are. We are loyal slaves. We are not free. We are in captive. We are educationally, we are enslaved. Politically, we are enslaved. Economically, we are enslaved. Traditional. How do I put it now? What do you call it? Religiously, we are enslaved. What type of religion that Nigerians are practicing today?
Hold on. I love what you said earlier about the wedding. It's something as simple as, when people do a traditional wedding, colorful, beautiful, they don't care about the wear the traditional attire and stuff, in our mind, you are conditioned as, oh, you're not properly married until you've done a white wedding. You know that?
Right.
That's why you hear people say, oh, we do traditional wedding first, and then we do a white wedding. Basically, it's like this, like you said earlier, it's like a white wedding tops everything. And it's mental conditioning.
Right.
Because what's wrong with our traditional wedding, though? What's wrong with that?
Frankly, that is even beyond the point. The point I'm stating is that, first of all, in Africa as a whole, we went from a metrotic system to a patriotic system. I'm going to use again Nigeria for instance. You understand? You see these Nigerian men, they're so arrogant. I'm not here to bash, but I'm looking at our culture and our system. You know, this is what we have been harboring for years. This is the mindset we have been promoting for years. You look, the Nigerian system, they teach the women how to be leaders. They train the women how to be leaders. The women can cook, they can clean, they can do all of these things. They have the leadership attribute, but the men don't. They are babies, baby boys. And look at what baby boys are doing in the political settings. Look at what baby boys are doing. You see these Nigerian men, they come, I am the man here, I am the man. Are you a woman before? Are you an hermaphrodite? What is it that you are? Is it not obvious that you're a man? So you see them, they come, the only thing they have, they talk and they do all of these things, but they don't have leadership qualities. Why? Because they're not brought up that way. They are brought up how to be babies. And we are not responsible to one another. We are not accountable to one another. When you see they like shortcuts, you know, they call it smartness. They call it smartness.
Yeah. Thank
you. You understand? They don't want to pass through. We don't. I'm not excluding myself. I'm not excluding myself because Nigeria is not the country who taught me how to be responsible and accountable. Another country did, not Nigeria, because I wouldn't have been this responsible if peradventure I was in Nigeria. So what are we saying? I am just like the puppet rulers. They brought me up. They promoted all this sort of attitude that we have as Nigerians. And when the world and people are complaining about our arrogance, about a lot of things that we have, we come up and say, oh, but they're seeing something that we are not seeing. But can we take the time and look into ourselves and look inwardly about the things that, the type of attitude that we have? I mean, our attitude is stinking, it's smelling. We need to change. We need to hold each other accountable. We lack accountability. So what are we talking about? We are pointing fingers to the puppet rulers. Are we different from the puppet rulers? No, we are not. They gave birth to us. Some of them are our fathers. Some of them are our mothers. All of them, in fact. So what are we talking about? So the same people, you see, they program these people and they put them in offices. I know that the Europeans, they are, behind all of these things. But are we going to keep pointing fingers to external bodies? Now I'm talking about, now let's look within, internally. We need to change our situation, not just as Nigerians, but as African, as Africa as a whole. Because we have traitors. It was traitors from within us that made the Europeans to conquer us, not the Europeans. It was traitors and sellouts. Do you understand? Because, how can someone know what is in you and your wife discuss in your bedroom? One of you must go and tell somebody before, the enemy will come and infiltrate that union. You understand? Because no strangers cannot just know what is happening in your bedroom. So you see, this is the kind of things we are talking about. Our ancestors, they failed. I say to people, can we sit down and analyze the mistakes of our ancestors? Let's look deep into history and find out what they did not do well, so that we can correct it and be better citizens and be better, people in our community and in our society. We are here dealing with tribalism. We are here dealing with a whole bunch of things. You see, the Europeans, they use our differences to separate us. Again, but how long are we going to allow this to continue as a people? That is why I'm saying that every Nigerians that have a European degree, you are enslaved. You need to burn it. And we need this system. I talked about the system. The system has to go completely. It must be crushed down. This is not a system. And when you're talking, they come out and they tell you, oh, we have doctors all over the world. We have this, we have that. And no, you don't have it. Look at the health system. I know so much about the health system because I know that this health system is fake and it's not original. Can we go back to our traditional? We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust what we can produce and what we have. All we do is depend on the West. All we do is think that everything from Europe is the best. Just the way the British, I read an article the last time on your live stream, and I told you, they said, if we can make them think that everything African is bad and everything European or from the West is good, then we have conquered them. They conquered our Asian educational system. They conquered our culture and our tradition. They conquered our language. They conquered a whole lot of things. Today, we are here in this situation. Now we are saying, because do you see this mindset? We have a lot of work to do, a whole lot of work. These religious bodies that you see here, they are part of the problem. Our spirituality, Nigerians will say their spirituality is evil and witchcraft, but they have everything to praise the Europeans and their Christianity and Islam. The Arabs and the British, they conquered. Do you know that, Phrankleen, that when the British, this is a very research thing that I have done, when the British they came, you understand, as missionaries, do you understand that these people were sorcerers?
Yeah.
Were sorcerers. And they came,
right.
They came and they dealt with all our ancient tradition. In the southeastern part of Nigeria, they destroyed the pyramid that was there. It's called the Insude Pyramid. The British missionary, they destroyed it. That pyramid is called the step-by-step pyramid. The same pyramid built exactly the same with the pyramid of Egypt. They destroyed it. How many Nigerians know about their ancient history and civilization? And here they are praising and dancing. They have been praying for decades. What has happened, Nigerians? What has happened with all your prayers? Can you not sit down logically and think, we are the problems? We the people, we are the problems. We have a lot to do changing our educational system. We need to teach our children. We have brainwashed them. Nigerians are the same people that will beat their children to speak stupid English language that you don't even know what you're talking about. We don't know if we are causing ourselves. In my previous, because I'm also a YouTuber, in my previous video, I said, I defined the meaning of the word black. Are we truly black as a people? Black means pale. It means albino. It means white. It means, European. So they call us black when in essence they are black, because black in the context it means devoid of color. So we call ourselves names that we are not. They gave us names. They gave us niggas and all of these things. How long are we going to keep answering all of these things that they call us? They call us Nigerian. They call us, a whole bunch of names. Now you're answering Phrankleen. I have changed my name, of course, to a traditional one because I don't want to bear all the stupid things. You understand? They call the all sort of name, and we are saying, this is crazy. We need to teach our kids.
Hold on, sis. Hold on. What's your YouTube channel? I want people to check out your channel.
The African Unite Force.
Oh, that's the name, right? Please go and subscribe to the system, and you have to show our love, man. My channel is on fire right now. Sheesh. The African Unite Force. Please. You know what? I hate to cut you, but you know what I'm going to do, yeah? In fact, it's nice that I've done this. Do you have your contact detail on your channel? Because I'm going to have to send you an email. I want to bring you back on an exclusive show where it's just you and I for 1 hour. How about that?
Okay.
So that's the sisters channel, the African Unite Force. Can I see your contact details on your YouTube channel if I go there, yeah? Do you have an email address on there that I can send you an email or something?
I have all my, yeah.
Is it on your YouTube channel? If I go there, will I be able to find it?
I do.
Okay, I will do. So please search for our name, the African Unite. Okay. Go and subscribe. Thank you, sis. I'll be in touch, okay? Kaiser. Your mic.
Yeah, what's good? Can you hear me?
I'm all right, bro. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. So I don't want to be repeating what everyone's saying, so I'll get to the points.
Yeah, go on.
So yes, the Nigerian Commonwealth is a little bit, corrupt. Corruption starts from the bottom level all the way to the top. The leaders were once the commoners, and the same, we're all the same people. The problem here, though, is that it's a system that is corrupted that allows for corruption easily. If I was a manager of a bank, and you have the, for example, in America, you have the I forgot what they're called, but there's a bank, there's a situation whereby there was a lot of issues with the people investing money in. They were investing in scrupulous ways, and there was no control system. I forgot the name of it, but there is something CC. I forgot. Anyways, I think and it doesn't matter. So that was set up in order to control things, to stop them from being able to easily manipulate the finances and create all these issues within the trading, etc. The problem with Nigeria is that we don't really have a system that is functional. The problem with the system is it allows for too much corruption too easily. Now, the previous speaker said, some nice things. We should love each other. We should be good. That's true. However, that's not how you change a community. When you want to change a community, you have to enforce power and pressure at a certain level that forces people into place. I'll give you a perfect example from science, right?
Mm.
If you want to keep the chickens inside the pen, you create a fence around the pen. You can educate the chicken to not go outside the pen because the wolves will eat them. And you know what? You can do it, but it's so difficult. The amount of energy, time, resources to educate these chickens, to train them, is not worth what you're trying to do. So you got to create the fence so that you can train them easier, so that they understand how to function. So what I'm trying to say here is, when people talk about solutions, we have to actually be realistic here. What needs to happen is a system that goes from top all the way down and in reverse, that is so strong yet fair, strong and fair. But this, I mean, I'll give you a perfect example, right? Now, imagine if you wrote an app, or someone wrote an application that has all the finances that come from tax money onto the system. Now, someone will say, well, things like that exist. Fine. Now, once this app, everyone has access to it, all the government officials, when the money came from, where it came to, and all the transactions that happened with this money. So if he bought something, if you had to pay taxes to extra person, everything is noted down. Now, when it comes to scrupulous events that show that the money has been transferred, let's say he did a deal with Tata Steel Oil Foundation. However, the money didn't go back to actually invest the region, like let's say the Delta States, the way it said. What would happen is that person would have to take responsibility, and they would have to be fined and actually have, the state do something. Now, again, it has to be fair. We can't do things like, putting them in prison forever, because some people will disagree with that. The point I'm making here is, if you create a system like that across all the way down to the bottom, even to the grammars, if a grammar is now there trying to bribe the police officer, she has to face consequences. The moment you can actually control everything in society to this level, that's when things change. You can't, speaking about, loving each other, changing from that direction, it can happen, but statistically, it's not the way things happen. In China is the last example I give. For China to have gone from, the poorest nation in the world to one of the biggest superpowers, when the British had actually pushed opium into the streets of China during the Opium War. For China to stop that and recover from that and become what it is now, they basically put a zero tolerance on opium traders in the country. Now, I'm not saying we do that to corruption exactly by killing people. No, I don't want to go down that direction. However, we need to have a functional African solution to that problem that has zero tolerance to any of these corruptions from any level, grammar level, all the way up to the president. The moment you do that, then everyone will, like the pen, start acting accordingly the way they're supposed to, because that's all we are. We're social creatures. We're going to do what everyone else is doing. If the grammar can if the grammar and the police can bribe each other, and it does happen both ways, then everyone else is going to bribe them. So yeah, that's my take there. It's, we have to now think of functional solutions, not just the problems.
Thank you, Kaiser, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye. Ella.
Hi,
Hello?
hello. Hi,
Hiya.
Phrankleen. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear us or you can hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. Um, I just want to say that everything everyone has been saying, some I agree with, some I don't really agree with. Are Nigerian leaders product of the
A
country
reflection.
Nigeria? Yes, 100% they are. um we from the structure from our family structure, we are raised like that. We were raised to go out and get money no matter what. We praise the money, we don't care where you get it from. We
Hmm.
praise the cars, we praise Jeep, we praise um names of cars. We practically know all of them. We praise Lamborghini, Porsche, this one, that one. We praise everything. We compare ourselves to the next person,
Hmm.
from family, from mother to father to brothers and sisters. If I'm the last in my house and I happen to make some 100 million naira, my father or my mother might compare me with my older sibling and say, look at her, she's your senior, thereby pushing that senior to get money through cook anyhow. You get it anyhow, just bring it back. We celebrate, we applaud. The last time it was this guy, Hush Puppy, that was showing everything that he has. Some youths were actually clamoring to be like him until he entered problem. We all knew the money, is not clean. We knew that because no clean money showcases itself like that. If you work really hard to get your money, you don't come on the
There are so
online and
many.
start.
There are so many of the Nigerian public and celebs that were on that guy's payroll. Let that be said. Go on, carry on
Of course,
talking.
there are. That's the kind of things we praise. From family to religion to tribalism to school system, it's like a bunch of multi-layered problem that if you remove one, the other one grows from where you removed it from. Family, the same thing. Religion, oh my God, don't get me started. From brainwashing to titan offering to indoctrination to the way we present, how to the way we misinterpret the Bible or the Quran or whatever we use um as um as as the book we read in our various worship places. It is absolutely ridiculous. We praise, they do get money, get 500,000, who will get 100,000. They don't care if you've eaten or not. Nobody cares where you're coming from. As long as you are in the church or as long as you are wherever you are, you bring the money. The pastors or whoever that are in the church, they have helicopters, they have private jets, they have schools, they have universities that even their members can't go to. But still, we see all those things, but still, we go there every damn Sunday to worship. And at the end of the day, they carry the whole money and go. And then we go there and start and shout and clap for them and shout amen, hallelujah, and go. As long as they tell us what we want to hear, we are comfortable with it. As long as they tell you your mother's sister is after you, you shout amen, you go home and you are in enmity with your mother's sister. As long as they tell you somebody is after you or your destiny is great, even though we know some of most people's destiny, let's call it what it is, with the where we are brought up and the condition of the country we are, most destinies are not bright. But they just tell you because you want to hear it. And you're shouting amen at the top of your voice and you are going home and they're packing all the money and go. There's no accountability. An average Nigerian hates accountability. An average Nigerian doesn't want you to question him or her. You can't even ordinary Nigerian embassy. If you go there, you respect yourself. Because when you talk rubbish or you want to show that you know you're right, they can deny you actually your passport and ask you to come back tomorrow. It's this I don't know, this mentally we are situated, we are just we've been situationed to be mentally proud or entitled, that we feel that everything is being handed should be handed entirely to us. Respect. We don't want to earn it. We just want, as long as I'm here, you have to respect me. Everywhere. If you go to an office normally, if you live abroad and you go to an office and your papers are not complete and they ask you to go back, every Nigerian have this, is it not just this small paper? Just take it and give it to me. I know sometimes I feel like that. Or I want to maybe lie and say, oh, I'm coming from somewhere, or I'm coming from this place, I'll bring it tomorrow. And they're saying, I'm very sorry, I can't help you. And we are going home grudgingly because your papers are not complete. We are used to getting things the crooked ways. If you give them 15 naira, they can give it to you even though your papers are not complete. But here, it's not like that. From the moment you land at the airport till when you get to your destination, you are frustrated. The corruption is in your face. It's either you do it so you can get to your destination safely, or you are stuck there and they can tell you, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Or I'm going to search. One actually told me at the airport, I'm going to search you. I can go, I've showed you everything. I am free to go. But he tempted to search all my bags, all my 12 boxes, if I don't actually give him money. That's how bad and how corrupt it is. So if that person tomorrow actually becomes a senator, it's going to be the same thing because he is entitled. He feels I owe him that money. School system, the same thing. If I have a JAMB score of 200 and I want to read medicine, and the child of a poor man maybe has 160 or 100, I can actually be knocked off just because someone has big money, and I will be deprived of my situation, or I'll be deprived of my place to actually go and study what I'm. It's in every layer in Nigerian system. It is there. The average Nigerian wants to have money to oppress, show off, impose, show you that they have arrived. We even brag with the littlest thing. Yeah, my son is the only black child in their class. I just bought a car yesterday. You compliment someone's shoes, say thank you, and walk away. Say, yeah, I actually bought it for £5,000. You know, I don't think they have it anymore. I think it's the last one. We look for ways to just, I don't know, Phrankleen. It's a sad situation. If we don't have a mental revolution of some sort, it's going to be like that. It's never going to change. I don't care. Religion never helped us. It's not helping us. Prayer is not helping. Tribalism is not helping. Some people are even talking about dividing Nigeria. Everyone to your tent, oh Israel. I can understand. Sometimes you feel you are being deprived of something just because an Hausa man, which funny enough, every sector of Nigeria is actually headed by an Hausa male. Somehow you feel, I'm being deprived of something. But I would really like it if we stay together as a country. Like, I wouldn't want visa to come and see you, Phrankleen, in Lagos, you know. So it would be nice if we stay together. But the way it's going, except we change our mentality, it's going to be the same. Because who is going to change Nigeria? Is it the thieves that are stealing, or the thieves that are waiting to get into power to continue the stealing? Who will lead, who will rule? Who will lead Nigeria? That's the problem. If we don't change, it's going to remain like that forever. Thank you very
Fantastic.
much, Phrankleen. That's all I wanted to say.
Uh,
Hello, Phrankleen. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi. So, just to make a couple of points, I really liked what Kazio said, the brother. I think he was spot on right. You see, I think we're not being realistic with the problem in Nigeria. People have mentioned several things. However, I think if we want to see real changes in Nigeria, we have to be solution-oriented. And that starts with reforms in the justice system. You know, just to quickly summarize, for a justice system to work, you need lawmakers and law enforcers. And, you know, thank God for this end Sars protest. It's an opportunity for us now. I was telling a friend who's a lawyer in Nigeria, why don't we, as foreigners abroad, you know, Nigerians in diaspora, why don't we set up or sponsor legal clinics, for example? where lawyers that are smart, ambitious, and want to really change the country can come and work and know that they're going to get at least a decent salary. This will give people the opportunity to really seek changes that can reform the system. You know, the illegal clinics
Right,
all over the United
bro,
States.
bro.
Yes.
Forgive me. Sorry to interrupt you. Let me tell you from the judicial corruption that I've learned off here in the UK from a few years of dealing with the justice system, and I'm still dealing with it. All right. Let me tell you, man. The people running Nigeria, hmm,
Yes.
they are they are the organized criminal network, and it's an extension of the global organized criminal network. Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. So the leaders in terms of hierarchy, governors, and all these people that I've been saying it for time. They are
Mm,
puppet. They are all part of the organized criminal network.
mm,
Even though it's encouraged that we should go out and vote, people should vote, and all that stuff, and all these things, right?
mm.
Everything already pre-planned. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't say don't vote. It's nice to vote, but it's a completely rigged system. Okay, now the people in the upper echelons of power, which
Mm,
again, the people controlling the strings, Britain being one of them, being the prime country in the background controlling Nigeria. It's basically the cesspit of the organized criminal network.
mhm,
You understand me? So every member of the organized criminal network relies on something to flourish. Now, in exchange for you to function in the organized criminal network, they promise you a glittering career. They promise you monetary benefits, social climb, and all that. In exchange for that, they strip you of your integrity. So once you fraternize, the network owns you now. You do as you're told. Point blank simple. And once you join, you realize that it's a global network. A branch of it is the one running your country. So basically, if you're a member, you don't have the ability to go against the network. They'll snuff you out like a candle in the wind.
No,
Facts.
Franklin, I don't.
Hold on. To address your point about the lawyers, I get what you're saying, but you see,
Mm,
the people at the elms of affair that provide the everyday protection frauds to the members of the organized criminal network are the corrupt judges at the elms of affair. I would tell you now, it's the same in Nigeria, it's the same in the UK, it's the same in the US, it's
I
the
agree.
same in part of the world. So what I mean is, however good you are as a lawyer, however bloody articulate you are, if you put the door off the hinges and you walk into a courtroom, if a corrupt top judge is sat there, he or she has the ability to smash you down, smash you to smithereens, and deny your client of remedy. In fact, it is well known and documented that if your lawyer pushes really hard, what they normally do here in the UK is if if a lawyer who perhaps is not part of the organized criminal network,
Mm,
the immediate threat to you is your practicing certificate will be absolutely destroyed and revoked. So, who are the people at the elms of affair? It's the state running the organized criminal network. So that's why even the best lawyers and all the top names, I'm not naming anybody, right? They have to be very smart about their approach to things. So even if you have a top level case whereby they can go in there to demand justice, bro, they really can't because you are
Frank,
dealing with a wide network. They
I,
haven't
I
got this is about legal prowess. So having lawyers, legal clinics, and all those things, they're great. But as long as you have corrupt judges, do you know how powerful judges are? They can make one of two decisions: a decision that will completely obliterate your life or change the dynamics of your life as an individual or be in your favor. And if they are there to deliver on protection frauds to their wider network, they would destroy you to make sure you don't get remedy. That's all.
Agreed, Franklin. However, let me say this. Uh, I'm not saying there's gonna be absence or it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be difficult. But a very good example is the recent case in the United States, Jeffrey Epstein, who, very powerful man, very rich, had friends in high places, but was still brought under the strong armor of the law when he was found guilty of sexual,
Yeah.
rendering to
But do
young
you know why?
people.
Do
So
you know why? It's
it,
because Epstein was exposed by whistleblowers.
But
Members
that's what I'm saying. Let's make systems like this that people in Nigeria, lawyers in Nigeria will be brave to take the steps. This is how we can change the country step by step. Black Americans were protesting 100 years ago. They're still protesting the same thing. Protest doesn't change anything. If we want to be honest here, Martin Luther King died, but Black Americans are still protesting exactly the same thing he died for. If we're serious about changing the country, we have to take it step. I don't believe in revolution. I believe in evolution. Because really, if you look at history of revolution around the world, nothing ever changes. Venezuela, there was revolution in the 90s. What's happening with the country now? Libya, Egypt, nothing changes from revolution. Only evolution, and that's small, consistent, precise changes. That's how we can change the country if we're being serious. Everyone's saying religion, religion. The reason why people believe in religion is because it's a normal human behavior. You got to believe in something. People have to believe in something. So if we want Nigerians to stop being so religious, we got to set up, for example, social clinics, which we will self-sponsor in our local communities. Teach people. What's stopping a group of 10 Nigerian youths who have no access to the internet now? We buy a computer, buy a laptop, set up internet connection, and they're listening to this conversation. That's how their mindset gets changed. Everyone coming here saying, making comments, we need to start being responsible. We need to. Look, frankly, one more, just a fact.
Yes, sir.
Nigeria is among the top 5 remittance countries that send, remittance recipients. We're
Yes.
among the top 5. We
Yeah.
send, I think in the last 6 years, we've sent over $25 billion to Nigeria.
Hmm.
And when you check that, 30% of that money goes into investment, 70% goes into consumption. If we want to be intentional, a group of 10 friends come together, 1 million naira can set up a proper school for 20 kids. They'll receive standard education. From 10 friends, that's $3,000, $300 per person. There are many of us abroad that can afford that. We got to start being responsible.
Bro, I like what you're saying. Honestly, I align with you 100%. I'm not refuting your claim. Please don't get me wrong. I agree with you. In fact, these journeys, again, it ties into all that we've been saying, all that the lady that spoke at first with fire, right? It starts with the mindset, bro. This is what I've been saying on my platform about coming together, about group economics. That's what you're explaining here. Oh, why can't X number of us come together and raise 1 million naira or more or do this? You're talking about group economics, but we are a group of people, right, who are unbelievably difficult in terms of our mindset. I'd rather go solo and want to flex on you. This is what we've been talking about. You've just come across in a slightly different twist. You're saying the same thing. You see, what you're saying on paper is fantastic. If you were to invite me into a room where I'm privileged to be part of a forward-thinking group of people, have a brilliant idea on how we can move things forward in terms of Africa and stuff. If I see positivity, I'm the kind of I will align with it. But we have a problem with mindset. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Even to get ideas, I can sit in a local Nigerian restaurant. You socialize all the time. There are so many brilliant minds. To implement ideas becomes a very difficult thing because people have a toxic mindset. You have a conversation with your fellow brother and sister right now, and you're thinking you're going somewhere. Tomorrow morning, somebody behaves like a jerk. Somebody starts to say, "This guy that brought the idea, I think, overlook why this guy is trying to use you people to up elevate his destiny. He's trying to take advantage of you guys." Then their mommy will tell them some idiotic pastoral revelation in the background. Then that same person that you thought had a great mindset will come back with foolishness, and then ego comes to the table, and then we get into pointless fights, and then we go our separate ways. I've seen it a million and one times. And for those that even try to do those things, instead of you to be diligent, to be honest, I then think I'm cleverer than you and everybody else. I then try to siphon funds and all sorts of nonsense that we use to cripple ourselves. So it still takes us back to square number one. The mindset crucial. If you look
But
in
who's
every
gonna change it? Who's gonna change it? People won't change themselves.
ourselves,
It's not that easy, Franklin. People, that's why I said some
it's
people
easy.
like we need to be responsible. It's not easy for your average Nigerian to start changing the mind. It's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work.
So when you're saying it's not easy or maybe it's not doable, then believe me, bro, if the mindset is not right, if you and I are not aligned, we're not on the same wavelength, I'm not on the same page with you, bro, how can we materialize the best of ideas? It's impossible. Regardless of how infinitesimal the idea is, how big, how complex. If you and I, the very first step is we've got to be on the same page. It's just like you are a dude, you're entrepreneurial. You're thinking of, I can get these Ralph Lauren shirts, I can buy them for £5 here. I can get 100 of them, ship them to Lagos for sale. I can get 1,000 of this. Oh, hang on, bro, let's put money together. We can open a boutique. You're thinking business. I'm just a guy who works as a security guard, and I just want to collect my £1,300 a month. It doesn't matter if you sit with me at the table and preach to me from now till Christmas Day. If my mindset is warped, right? I will never be, even if you're willing to even borrow me money to run that business, like Franklin, okay, I'll lend you £3,000 to start this business. All right. When you start making money, pay me back my 3,000. If I'm not there mentally, there's going to be a problem. The mind is the major tool. Why is it that, okay, let me look at the other side of this. Why is it that the oppressors are able to condition us for many years? Through what, bro? Through
The
our
mind.
minds.
Yeah.
Religiosity. That's their greatest weapon. When the president of Nigeria came on TV yesterday, it's intentional to give a disgraceful 12 minutes of baseless speech, in the process inflicting fear in the citizens regarding potentially ongoing protest. Yeah. So what he was trying to embed in that speech is, I double dare you to litter those streets with your legs and your voices again. We're going to come down heavy on you. That's exactly what he was trying to say, right? So what do you think he was using that avenue to convey? It's basically connecting to your minds. In the
Franklin,
mind, planting fear, which is a weapon of control. Number one weapon of control by the elites. So all I'm telling you is the mind is a major breeding ground. If it's not right, it's just not right. Go on, bro.
look, I think eventually we're saying the same thing, but my point is, if you look at America now, everyone seems to always want to compare Nigeria to the United States. The US is a functioning, system, even though they have some flaws, because of people from within the community took the responsibility to stand up, to form associations that were able to regulate and push for changes little by little in the system. And talking about Buhari and all the politicians now, that's trying to change the problem from outside in. This is a problem from inside out. We need to start educating. We need to help our communities to grow. I'm just giving you $25 billion. Let's take 1% of that. 1% of that. that can change the life of thousands of Nigerian kids. They could have like basic education, and they're the ones that would wake up. They're the ones that would grow in the future to change the country. Let's be honest with ourselves, Franklin. Look, Nigeria will not change in our lifetime. It's not easy. That's not how a country changes. Come on. I mean, I'm not God, but that's not how a country changes. With our difference, protest, Black Americans have been protesting since, 100 years back, and they're still protesting the same problems. Little small changes. So we need to start. That's why they say the best investment is investment in yourself. We got to start investing in people in our communities. Those kids, they're the ones that will change the country. They're the ones that will live the dream that we're all dreaming of. Everyone, no matter how small, needs to contribute. And I know the question of trust and how to make sure things are implemented is hard, but it's not meant to be easy. That's my point. We want to see in Nigeria the works. We have to do the hard work. We need to be able to put aside our differences, compromise on minor things so that we can achieve major things. It's that simple and straightforward. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, my brother, man. Thank you. Right. KJ.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear your voice properly. Hello. Don't know why it's disconnected. Hello, bro.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go on.
Yeah, brilliant. I actually been waiting, and I really enjoy your show. It's very, very, very educative, and I believe that's what Nigerians need at the moment, especially this time. I've heard a couple of people speak, and good points, good points, good points. And one thing I want to draw before I run off is this: making laws and implementing laws. When I came to the UK a couple of years ago, and
Right.
I was driving around Croydon, and I saw these guys, breaking the traffic, beating the traffic light. The light was red, and they were beating. I was like, "Wow, this is the UK. This is what happens in Nigeria," So it got me thinking. I said, humans are the same, but we are controlled by laws.
Yeah.
Now, last year I visited Nigeria. I was in Port Harcourt. I was driving. I got to a point. The traffic light showed red. I stopped. Do you know I was the only one waiting? Everybody was just passing me by. Drivers were I was looking at myself. I was looking foolish and stupid because I'm coming from a system that works. The system has affected my mentality. So I was thinking that that's the normal, not knowing that no, it doesn't work that way. So
Yeah.
if we have a system that works and then make laws and enforce these laws, humans will behave accordingly. So if the guy at Oshodi, if the Agbero guy at Oshodi Park knows that harassing a bus driver has consequences, he wouldn't do that. If the councillor, because before I left Nigeria, I was kind of almost involved in politics. I understand what goes on in Nigerian politics. I've been in a situation whereby I see during elections, voters are out there voting, but the big guys, the politicians, would take the original ballot boxes, go to a room and start thumbprinting. So this is what goes on. So if there's a system that monitors this, that monitors the voting process, that ensures that voters vote and their votes count, that if you come and disrupt elections, there are consequences. There'll be minimal corruption. I'm not saying corruption will be totally ruled out, but it will be minimal, and it will affect the development of the country. So I think the problem with Nigeria is, like everybody has been saying, is mindset, behavior, psychological. It's very psychological, and then the lack of law enforcement. We don't enforce our laws. If you take away the cameras on the streets of London, most drivers would drive recklessly. Just take away
Of
the
course,
cameras. They
of
would drive
course.
recklessly. So because these laws,
even in certain intersections in London or anywhere in the country, whereby, say, occasionally that you spot that there is a faulty set of traffic lights,
yeah,
people start to, but the local authorities are very quick to get in there and find a way to control that, or else there will be accidents and then it'll be difficult to, and then there are cameras. You are right. There are no adequate databases. There is no consequence.
exactly.
There's no point having traffic lights when there are no cameras that
There
can
are no
catch people
cameras that
for
can catch
flying
people.
past. The
Yeah,
police cars here in the UK, they have ANPR cameras. If all you have to do is just drive past them, even if I'm coming from the opposite direction, if I've got no insurance, it'll pick me up, pow, straight.
immediately.
The police officer might be talking to his colleague, driving, going somewhere. If I drive past them and my car is not insured, pow, it'll pick me
Exactly.
up. If
Exactly.
my MOT has expired, if my road tax expired, power me up. It's because they spent money to build those IT infrastructures and build those databases. So let me give you this in line with what you're saying, my brother. So I renewed my driver's license not too long ago, right? My UK driver's license. So my photo card had expired. And I went online to see how I can get it done. So you had to go into a photographer on the high street. They take your picture. So now, if you tell them it's for your driver's license, they would then connect to the database. Sorry, that was for my driver's license. So they would then connect to. Wait, was that for the driver's? No, that was for the passport. Sorry, I'm going somewhere with this. That was for the. This one, I was trying to renew my driver's license. So I was trying to do it online. And then it asked me for my driver's license details. I put everything. And then it said, as for my address, blah, blah, blah. And then it told me that the picture on my driver's license needed to be renewed because my photo card had expired. So it asked me if I was a British citizen. I clicked yes. Yeah. And then the next page, guess what? It gave me an option, watch this, to go into the passport database to go and pull my passport photograph from my passport. And boom, on my driver's license. And in less than 48 hours, the license came in the post. And I'm like, wow. Again, now, back in the years, the DVLA, the driving department, they were a standalone department, okay? The immigration or passport department was a standalone government department, right? So now they've all got connected databases.
Exactly.
So what it means is, let's say I happen to have my driver's license and there is already some ongoing palaver with my, let's say, immigration status, or there's something wrong with my British passport. As soon as I try to renew that, they would know because of the interchange in the background.
Exactly.
And once they discover that, they'll put on hold. They might decide to put a hold on my driver's license. Do you see?
Exactly. They might decide to
there's a system where the footprints are just crazy. Although I must also say that whilst it's good, it's like things run seamlessly. There is a dark side to it where the authorities in the country we live in can also use the same database to infiltrate your life and breach personal database and use it unlawfully. But of course, that's a separate conversation. But what I'm trying to say, all these systems, you can do it, things fall into place. When I was going to renew my British passport, go online, you go into a Photoshop, they took your picture, digital picture in their database. They only gave me a code. I went online, I'm feeling, do you have a code for your photograph? Yes, type it in. It pulls up my picture from the Photoshop, right? Boom, filled everything details of your old passport. Please send us your old passport to a separate department. Bang, 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 bang. Bro, less than a week, new passport, bang, in the post. Easy work. They cancel the old one, easy. But you're talking of us having zero reliable database. Where do you
Zero
even
reliable
start?
database. Now,
Where do you even start?
If I could come in, if I could just say this,
Go on,
the
bro.
point I'm driving at is this: we build a system, make laws, and enforce the laws that will sustain the system. And now that's where education comes in, because, for instance, then the Nigerians were too sentimental and emotional people. The police officer on the street, we say, "Oh, I'm your brother. You know, I'm your brother. You know." Just use that. Let me just sound Nigerian. A police officer stops you on the street and pulls you over. So, a guy, you know, say, "I'm your brother. I'm your brother now." Just, or he tells you, "You know, say, I'm your brother. Just find me something." Sentiment comes. That's you know, high level of sentiment that breeds corruption. There was a day my wife and I were driving here in London, and the police pulled us over because the brake light wasn't working. And said, "Oh, I just wanted to check, make sure that you are aware of it, but don't worry, go on." But in Nigeria, that doesn't work that way. They will pull you over. Before you know it, they're extorting money from you. And there's no consequence. A police officer is going to tell you, "I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do this to you," and nothing is going to happen. There's no consequence at all. So we make laws, but we don't enforce it. That is why the average Nigerian believes he also can do anything. The tout on the street, the youth on the street can believe that he can do anything because there's no law enforcement in the country. So we make laws, we don't enforce it. So a lawless nation is a chaotic nation. And that's why Nigeria, I believe, is the way it is, because we do not enforce our laws. We do not enforce our laws. Here, laws are being enforced. You know that you cannot bribe
That's
a
the
police
problem.
officer.
If
You know.
you are living here in the West.
Hello? Hello? I didn't get you there.
You're frozen now.
Hello,
You're freezing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Yeah, it was freezing for a bit. Go on.
Okay, yeah. So we understand. We are, like you talked about your passport, reapplying for your passport, renewing your passport process. If you do that in Abuja or Ikeja or Port Harcourt, where I come from, if you go there, you see the long queue. Let's say you go to an immigration office to renew your passport. The queue is long, but if someone cites you, say, "Oh, this guy has money," they'll pull you over to the office. Say, "Okay, just give us this small." Nothing. There's no check. There's no monitoring. There's no process, and nothing. Okay, let's finally, before I go, if you go to the universities, lecturers can decide that they will frustrate you. You're not going to get a first class. You're not going to pass out until you pay this or you sleep with them.
Yeah.
So the lecturer decides your mark. So there's no system that handles the marking scheme, the marking process, the results allocation process in the universities. So students are constantly being exploited or abused because of results. So the corruption is everywhere because we make systems, we make laws, we don't enforce them. So if we can start, I agree with the last caller. Those of us who are educated, those of us who know better, we can set up a system. We can set up a platform and say, "Okay, let's start educating the young ones," because we cannot change Nigeria overnight. We can start changing Nigeria by educating the young ones to understand how systems work. Because sorry for taking much of your time. A child who is born.
The connection is really bad, man. Really bad. But thank you, man. I think you've made a bulk of your point. The connection is really, really blunt off. That's the core of my topic today. See, I said at the start, if you started with me, put Buhari and all the government and everybody, we're talking about their failings and all that. We've been talking about that. Everybody knows that. Okay, let's put that aside. All right, the average Nigerian leader is a reflection of their citizens. How about us? In order for somebody to stash some Indomie boxes and palliatives in mega warehouses, there are so many regular people that benefit from it. You know that these drugs here are fake medications, but you are part of the people that will do what? You will sell it on anyway. You know that people are going to take those drugs and die because they are fake medications. But because you want to cash in, and these are the people that sit in the front row in their churches and their mosques. A gentleman told me via email that he lives in the States. He set up a catfish business a few years ago in Nigeria, right? And there was a gentleman that somebody recommended that would help him with supplying of the feeds. He said he put so much money in the catfish business. If you do it properly, it's a very lucrative business. And then the catfish business has a capacity of the catfish farm, sorry, had a capacity of about 60,000 catfish at one time, right? And the man said the guy that was he joined forces with to supply him the feeds and stuff had gone on about how he has extensive background, he can do this. So he took this man's money, you know, to give him a whole pen full of bags of feed for the catfish, 60,000 catfish. So the man started feeding his catfish and stuff. The whole 60,000 catfish died, perished. So I asked him what happened. He basically said to me that he eventually found out that there were people who actually make millions from importing expired catfish. So it might be from other countries and all that stuff. The feed in the bags had already expired. They will rebag them. They will take out the expiry date. They will fraudulently impose another one. So to the unsuspecting eyes and buyers, when you buy them, you feed them to your fish. There goes your catfish. There goes your investment. There goes a ton of money. Some people might be unable to even recover from that huge financial loss. This is the practice, and I'm saying everyday practice of the average Nigerian. These are the people that will cash in multi-millions. They will amalgamate forces with unscrupulous Chinese or Indians and bring in those dodgy feeds. And there's an influx of a lot of toxic materials. Nigeria is a dumping ground. Dettol that you can use, antiseptic. Dettol, there's fake paracetamol, body creams, fake everything you can think of. Tomato paste, tomato puree. They bring fake medication from China, from other parts of the world. Nigeria is the dumping ground. Who lets them in? The government officials and a lot of our people on the ground level who are unbelievably corrupt. They don't care who dies as long as they sell this 40-foot container of fake drugs and they cash in 10 million. Go and ask people who are into catfish business. That guy said, Phrankleen, I am yet to recover from the loss of the catfish farm. He said, we woke up one day, over 60,000 catfish were dead and gone. He then spoke to somebody that knew somebody. Then they did some checks on the feed, and then the local experts uncovered the fact that, oh, these catfish, these feeds had in fact expired. That's why all of your catfish died. And he said the man that supplied him was in fact a senior reverend in church. This is not religion bashing, true story. Now, I asked him, how much do you think that man would have made off that type of business? And he said, Phrankleen, he supplies so many small catfish farms across the country, in the east, everywhere. he has a big company. He brings them in and then he throws them into the society. These are the people that make multi-millions. Some of these people, they are part of the voices that you would hear. They will have 1,000,001 things to say about Buhari. They will have 1,000,001 things to say about Tinubu. They will have 1,000,001 things to say about the senators. They'll have 1,000,001 things. They are the same. That's all I'm saying. I cannot begin to tell you. The average Nigerian, go and ask anybody that goes home properly. Do you know that if I want to bring blended melon, known as egusi, that we used to make egusi soup, if you go to your local market, I was told by women who've got sharp eyes that make sure you get your melons that have not been blended. Make sure they blend it before you, right before you. The same thing with the atagigun, which is the dried pepper, right? Blended pepper, right? Which is quite spicy. You know why? They would mix all sorts of dodgy substances to increase the quantity. Why do you think people do that? They monetize all of this dangerous substance because they want to make dirty money. How is that any different? They sit down and sell you fake Maggi spices. I can go on, and people build businesses. These are some of the most religious people you will find in Nigeria. Like that woman said at the start of the video, right? The average Nigerian doesn't want you to tell them. Oh, I double dare you to say, oh, this is not nice. This is not fair. They will chop your head off, man. They don't want to hear it. But when the government does X, Y, Z, they are shouting. Like somebody else, like those of us that live in the West, people pay taxes. You that work 9 to 5, you know, tax this, tax that, tax this. How many people in Nigeria pay taxes though? Apart from the government being exposed for hiding the palliatives now, right? During the peak of the pandemic, a lot of them are jumping on social media talking about, oh, the government is not helping us. So I jokingly asked somebody on WhatsApp, do you pay taxes? He was like, taxes for what? No, taxes for what? No. That's for you people abroad. You see the mindset? But of course, like the brother said earlier, there is no system for checks and balances. So people take advantages. So you got to look inwardly and talk to yourself, ask yourself, am I rightly standing in terms of accountability? People will sell you anything. There's fake estate agents, fake travel agents. The frauds is too much. That's why even within the Nigerian community, when you dare try to be honest and straight and say, hey, my brother, look, man, this is the right way to do things. I actually want to, they would look at you like an idiot. Even in some cases, because people's minds are so rigid, they would actually think you are lying. Or they might think you're trying to reel them in so that you can scam them later. Everybody has the mindset of a scammer. It's staggering. I can barely, with some people, have a straightforward conversation. Everything is about being unscrupulous. Please, bro, try to be. Oh, look at this one. What's this? Bro, please be positive. People make legit money, especially Igbos. They are smart. Oh, God. Are you even listening to what I've been saying? Did I say everybody? Are you following me, bro? And don't say people make legit money, especially the Igbos. They are smart. I disagree with you. That's a very tribalistic statement. Okay? I hate tribalism with every fiber in my body. Okay? If you want to talk about people making legitimate money, yes, there are Nigerians making legitimate money. It's not tribe specific. Okay? I don't want to hear, oh, there are especially Igbos. Stop that nonsense, bro. That's the divide and conquer template. Okay? That's the toxicity that these people that we're talking about governing Nigeria have put in your minds. All right? You are not making legit money just because you are Igbo. There are dodgy Igbo men abroad that sell drugs. There are equally hardworking Igbo men that are making legitimate money abroad. All right? Let's not bring tribalism. because you're making legit money because you're Igbo is a nonsensical talk. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to discard that, man. That makes no sense. Hello, Gizmo, Gizmo TV, are you there? Hello? Let me see. Hello, Sundata.
Yes,
Where's
Phrankleen. How's it
Yeah.
going?
How you doing? I'm all right, bro. How are you?
Good. All right. So I'll be quick. So we're having an End SARS rally in Jacksonville, Florida, in the United States next Saturday, October 31st. Something that I've seen that's amazing is that all the African countries have been coming out in solidarity. Ghana, Congo, South Sudan, Kenya. So I think right now we understand what the problem is. I think everyone knows what the problem is. What we have to do, especially in diaspora, we have to get serious about affecting change in Nigeria. This past year, about $22 billion from diaspora went into Nigeria. The problem with that is we're not directing it efficiently. And I'll give a great example, and I'll be quick. It's Ethiopia, right? Their Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. That was funded by their diaspora. They didn't take money from the IMF, China. They funded it with money from the diaspora and people locally on the ground. That was a direct investment, right? It's remittance money, but it's directed. It's not just going towards consumption. It's going towards building things. So us in diaspora, if we can build solar plants, it doesn't take that much money, especially with the money we already give, we'll be able to affect serious change. So I think really we have to just be serious about doing the work. We know what the problems are. We know where the deficiencies are. We just have to be serious about doing the work and affecting change. I see what you're doing. I love your platform. I have cousins in the UK. You guys are really turning up, right? They chased Tinubu out of France. Now he's in the UK, right? We know where these politicians are, where they hide their houses. I saw people in the US going to the Nigerian ambassador in Maryland, going to their house, right? That's the stuff in diaspora we need to do. Also, with the SARS thing, a lot of people don't know SARS gets their military equipment from the United States. Nigeria doesn't produce weapons like that, right? So in diaspora, right, we're not saying anything. We haven't been saying anything for 10 years, right? And now SARS is killing our people back home with the same weapons from the US. They get training from the US, right? So diaspora, we have a lot to do right now. And what we do right now, we're in the nations that have a chokehold over Nigeria. What we have to do in diaspora, we have to get serious about changing these relationships. We have the power to, we can, and we will. So, once again, come out to the rally in Jacksonville, Florida, next week, October 31st, 5 p.m. You see the flyer on my name. You can go to africanvillage.info, learn about the organization. I love the program, Phrankleen, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Right. Tokiwala.
Hi.
Yo, your background is really loud, bro. Try to sort it. Anyway, it's gonna be a wrap for me, man. Thank you to everybody. Let's keep the conversation going on below. It's 2 hours, 41 minutes. Thank you for your contributions. I will keep that conversation going on. We will keep it going on. This is not the end. We're just getting started, okay? I do not project myself as an epitome of knowledge. I'm a regular human being. I'm passionate about Nigeria, particularly the wider Black community. We are all the same. We're the best resources that we've got. I don't believe in tribalism. I'm actually a Pan-Africanist, all right? And I'm a work in progress myself. There's so many toxicity that we're unbeknown to us. We were raised with that. We need to flush our minds, flush our brains, and adjust and be more tolerant of ourselves. Together, if we amalgamate our forces, our minds, we can push Africa forward, regardless of what the oppressors, might have gone to work donkey years to try to put in place to keep us on our knees. I'm very positive. Togetherness, is the prime weapon for us to move forward. Once again, I want to use this medium to send my condolences to the families of our brothers and sisters that have unfortunately lost their precious lives to these tyrannical killings by the Nigerian government. I pray that their gentle souls, carry on resting in absolute peace. It's painful. It's very hurtful. When I go back to my own drawing board, I'm able to wake up the next morning. It changes the perspective and about life in general. It's a blessing to still be alive. It's a blessing to be able to do this, while some, unfortunately, their existence have been cut short. So whilst we're here, the best thing we can do is to project positivity, work together as a people for a better Nigeria, and more importantly, to a better Africa. It's your boy, Phrankleen. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate you for the support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking and sharing my videos. If you want to send me an email, send emails to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Look in my description below. If you have any topic suggestions, anything you want me to give consideration to, bang me an email. Okay, you can reach me at Phrankleen, the same username on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. It's the same. Let's keep the fire, the flag blazing. Once again, it's your boy Phrankleen. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace and love, man. I'm out.